Hi everyone, and welcome to Network to Get Work live stream. I'm here at the Falk head offices, and I'm interviewing Maiju Pesonen today. She's head of operations. Hi Maiju.
Hi Linda.
So first of all, could you tell us a little bit about Falk?
Yeah, sure. So Falk is originally from Denmark, from Copenhagen, and we are serving people in the fields of assistance and emergency. Okay. It means that there might be a person who has an issue with maybe her car or house or something like that, and they need service. For instance, if their car doesn't start, they might call to us into our contact center, and we take all the relevant information, and then we organize help on spot. It might be that the vehicle will be towed to the nearest workshop, but there is also a possibility that the person has such a service that covers rental vehicle. So we will organize the rental vehicle or give any kind of advice they need in that situation. There is also different kind of insurance cases. Might be that someone calls that their kid has dropped their phone into the toilet, and they need help regarding maybe the claim that they are doing to the insurance company, and we give advice regarding that.
Okay, sounds really interesting.
It is. Yeah, here in Helsinki we have around 90 employees. Okay. That covers towing, tow truck. Well, I was the service manager for this contact center, so I was responsible for that department, how it rolls and so on. Now, just few months back, I started as a head of operations here in Falk. So that means that there is, of course, the contact center, but now other operational departments are under my supervision. That means the claims department and support functions.
Okay.
And it's a new role for me, but also here in Falk. So we'll see how it develops.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see what kind of things there will be. But yeah. I know that I will be more involved with customer companies,
okay,
customer relations, and I have now this team where we have 6 managers who are reporting to me
directly.
Yeah,
okay.
Directly. And now I am reporting to the CEO of Falk Finland.
Okay. Nice. So basically, the job description is just under construction. Basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Wow, that's interesting. So my next question is: how many Bachelor of Business Administration students are working at Falk at the moment, and in what kind of different job?
Yeah.
Positions. Yeah.
Well, we have both students and graduates.
Okay.
So I would say around 15 at this moment. Okay. And there is some of them are working in the contact center. We have shift supervisors who have BBA background, and then at the claims department, claim handlers, they have this background also. Some of them, not all, but some of them. Also, our reporting and other support functions have BBA graduates, and Falk is very flexible with students. So if you want, you can do like a part-time job, and there has been some students who have done their thesis to Falk. Yeah.
So that's also possible.
Yes, it is. Yeah. So everything is like negotiable, and we are happy to have students because they have all these like fresh ideas and views, and it's really good for our business.
Definitely, I do agree. Definitely.
So basically, there is a lot of things you can do with this BBA background, and I think it's mainly about what you want to do. What are your interests as a student?
Yeah, exactly. Great. Then the next one is that what kind of working life skills does the job applicant need in the recruitment process here at Falk, basically?
Yeah. Well, there has to be like basics that you know as an applicant. Yeah. Like for instance, it's important to send your CV and application in PDF form. Yeah. But it might be obvious for even everyone who is with us now, but in real life it is not obvious. Yeah. So that's why I'm mentioning it. Also, it's good to have well, you can have like a profile picture in your application. It's voluntary, so you don't necessarily have to put it. But if you do, make sure it's like it's good quality and it's clear picture, and all the recruiter can see you. If you have for instance, have a hobby or something like that that is important, it can be seen in the picture. You can like involve it in action, but just make sure that your face is like recognizable and
exactly
and so on. And what else?
Also, basically, probably that also when you do the application and you send your CV, make sure that the language is correct.
Exactly, like triple proofreading, yes, to be sure. Yeah, that's a good point. And also make sure that you will send it to the correct person.
Address it to the correct person.
Exactly, yes, and then modify it to the role you are applying for.
Exactly, that's a good point.
Yeah, because I've actually seen a lot of applications that are with the wrong title, for instance. So yeah, it doesn't impress me as a recruiter.
Definitely not, I bet. Okay, into the next one then. As the head of operations, what kind of attributes do you look for in job applicants?
Well, yeah, that's actually a good question. Show your personality. It's okay to be you, and also you need to be able to work with everyone. You don't have to like everyone, but you need to be able to work with everyone. So it doesn't matter whether you are introvert or extrovert. It's fine. You can be yourself, but just, you know, you need to do cooperation with everyone. I think that is probably the most important thing in work life. Yeah. But also I feel like you need to, well, modern life, these leadership skills are all about empathy and making employees feel good about themselves. Mm-hmm. But I believe that also the employee has to feel the same and react the same. So you need to be able to feel empathy with your colleagues and yeah. So those are important things. Can I actually get back to the previous question?
Yeah, sure.
Because we are discussing here. So can you mention what it was so everyone remembers?
What kind of working life skills does the job applicant need?
Yeah, I forgot to mention that when you come into an interview, in a face-to-face interview, my tip for everyone is to, when you are waiting for the recruiter, you're in a lobby or whatever, stand up and remember to smile. Keep it like actively in your mind that when the recruiter comes into the same room with you, you are standing, you have a nice pose, and you smile. So you make a good impression and you look friendly.
Exactly.
Because
so it's not fake that you just stand up and then suddenly there's a smile.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Because when we are a bit nervous, we might look terrified, or we might look scared or whatever. So you need to acknowledge that. And basic things like firm shake, take eye contact but don't stare too much, things like that. I think those are like you're being polite and making a presence.
Exactly.
So that's important. And I think it's also good to say if you are nervous, for instance. You can say that I'm so interested in this position that it makes me a bit nervous now. Yeah, I think that is good to know, and it's not like it's not a flaw to say
admit that.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I do agree.
Yeah. So things like that are the most important things when you are making the first impression.
Definitely. Well, then still a little bit about the job applicants.
Yeah.
Do you believe that it's important that job applicants are willing to take risks and also are willing to take challenges in their work?
Well, yes. Of course, it depends on the role you are working or applying to. But I think the basic rule of thumb is that if you are looking to proceed in your career, those are very important things to consider. Yeah. So when you are taking a risk, you should know the possible consequences, so that you know what you are doing. What kind of risk is it? Is it like a everyday risk that doesn't even matter so much, but it shows like own initiative to do that? Or is it something that might have maybe bigger financial influence? And yeah, so you need to know the impact of your decisions.
Yeah.
And about the challenges, yes, obviously people are different. Some like to take challenges and they need it to feel good in their role. But if you really want to show like how do you say it, like a good employee skills,
Yeah.
so then it's important to take those. Yeah, and you will be seen if you take risks and if you take challenges. And there is also, of course, the chance that it goes wrong.
But you have to be willing to take risks, and also that something will go wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
At some point.
And I think it's okay to like to go wrong,
yeah, that something goes wrong at some point. Yes, definitely.
So it doesn't usually shake the world.
Yeah, and it comes with taking risks and challenges, of course.
Exactly.
Okay, then we have our last question, which is how do you see the future of contact center services in Finland?
I think that is an interesting question. As we all know, there is huge digitalization going on. That means that people want service online. They might want service around the clock. We see it, for instance, in things like grocery stores are being open all night long. So even though we we have an office that is like paperless office, and we have a lot of technical integrations to help the agents to do their customer service work. It's funny to see that still there is a lot of customers who want and need to be served, well, not face to face, but in like real time with an actual person. Exactly. So, for instance, we cannot put robots.
Yeah, replace your customer service. Yeah. So, employees with a robot or something like that.
Exactly, that's not possible. And especially in our field of work, where we do this emergency service, that you call to us when there is something wrong and you need help. You definitely don't want to talk to a robot.
Yeah.
So in that way, I do believe that contact centers, they have a future. They have a huge future. But I think it will be seen more in like in-house. It doesn't necessarily show to the customers. And what comes to the digitalization, we also we are trying to like come how do I say it? Try to meet the needs of customers. So our latest version of that is that customers don't need to call to us when they are ordering a towing, for instance, if their car is broken. We have integrated this online.
Like a chat or something?
It's not a chat per se. It's like a form you can fill in, and it's interactive. It meets your needs and it changes depending on your answers.
Oh, okay, wow.
So we are trying to make it very easy, and you can actually order any kind of towing from our website, and it's easy, and it's well, for instance, now that we have had this low temperatures in Finland, our contact center has been very crowded. So if you are in a place that you cannot call, or maybe you don't want to call, or whatever the reason is, you can go to our online page and send the request for help from there. And if there is something wrong with it, we will go back to you. So basically that is also something that an actual person has to go through before we can send the tow truck on spot.
Okay.
So I really do believe that contact centers
are the future.
They really are the future, yeah. Did you also know that there is a lot of concierge services around the globe? For instance, there is people who might have certain kind of like a better credit card, and when you have that credit card, it comes with the service, concierge service. So you have a phone number where you can call and ask them from the concierge service to do whatever you need. You can send flowers to your wife, a hint for every guy, or you can ask them to check or book trips for you, or whatever you feel like. So that is something that is very popular in, for instance, in USA, and it is coming into Finland with speed.
Yeah, exactly.
So obviously we have this thing that Finnish people, they like to do their own business by themselves. So there is like a it's not that easy to call to the concierge service, but I think that is also something that will change during the next maybe 2 to 4 years. So we do organize those concierge services already, and I think that is one of the things that we will be seeing in the future.
Yeah, I believe so too.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Maiju.
Thank you.
So next we're going to take some of the questions. So from our viewers, let's see if there's questions here. Okay, so there's a first question from Auli Guiland. What chances does a person who has worked as a trainee have to get a long-term position in your company?
So what are the chances to get a job in
Yeah, have been as a trainee.
Yeah.
So I suppose this question is more for you.
Yeah. Yeah, so questions can be also asked to you.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But probably if you can first tell us a little bit about like in Falk's
Yeah.
situation and then.
Well, I think the most important thing is that you are active and that you show that you actually want this job that you're applying to.
Yeah.
So we, for instance, have a lot of positions where you don't need earlier experience. Yeah. So it means that if you have been a trainee in whatever the field is, it's probably only a good thing for you.
And definitely I have experiences of my friends who have basically studied, for example, they are BBA graduates, for example, and they have, for example, been a trainee at a certain company and they have gotten a position from that company because the traineeship went really well. So you definitely have a good chance of getting a job after. It's definitely, like Maju said, it's really up to you. Basically, you just have to, have your LinkedIn. You have to, keep on applying to the job. So
yeah, that's true. And here in Falk, we usually train everyone to the roles they are starting. So you just have to have the good attitude. So yeah,
you don't have to know everything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's just fine that, yeah. Good that you mentioned the LinkedIn. I think everyone should be in LinkedIn. So yeah,
it's something that's so now. Definitely, yeah. I do agree.
And you don't have to be like super active in there. You don't have to post everything like on daily or even on weekly basis. But it's good if you have your background, your history updated. So if you don't have LinkedIn account, go and create it. And when you are sending your next application, remember to put this short link to your application.
Definitely. We have some more questions from Vladimir Vitanov. How can a recruiter evaluate the soft skills the candidate possesses during the interview? What can the candidate expect? Okay. Soft skills. I'm not sure if I'm really understanding the question.
If by soft skills you mean these, like your, maybe your
personality more?
Yeah, that's how I understand this. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But, well, for instance, here in Falk, we have this recruitment tool. Maybe that's the correct term.
Is it like an aptitude test or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Personality tests and aptitude tests that companies use.
Yeah.
So where you can basically see the person's, the job applicant's personality and test it there.
Yeah.
So usually that's what they do in various companies nowadays.
Yeah, exactly.
They are more and more, for example, online.
Yeah.
So usually when you apply to a job, you can, for example, already do the aptitude test or the personality test there, and then they'll see if you're the correct job applicant, and then they'll invite you to an interview, for example.
Exactly, yeah.
So.
And I think that's a good way to proceed, especially if you have a lot of applicants.
Yeah.
Here in Falk, we usually contact the applicants first, and if it seems like a possible fit, we will call them into an interview.
Yeah.
And after that, if we proceed with the person, we will send an online link where they can do this test.
Yeah.
And we want it to be quite short and light for the applicant. We don't want them to go for a full day of interview and questions. Yeah. So it takes, depending on the person, something between 2 to maybe 10 minutes. And it is, even though it's that short, it is very, we have been using this maybe 6 months now. And I think that is something that helps us, especially with the soft skills.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I agree. Then Treve, what kind of support / actions is or are offered to newly hired employees to help them absorb the company's culture? Falk, or is this just in a general
Well, maybe
way?
I answer regarding Falk and
yeah.
It means that when a new employee starts, we have very structured model on how to make them feel comfortable when they come work us. So there is something that we have been putting a lot of effort, because obviously as an employer, I understand that a big change in one possible support. So I'm not actually now going to the specifics, but for instance, when you come into our contact center, the training period, it's 4 weeks, at least 4 weeks, and during that time you start easily, and after you are you understand what you are doing, you get more information, difficult, and so on. So it's like step by step to the goal, whatever it is.
Because basically in the company that I work for, we basically have like a person. When I started working from my department, for example, and they're there for me all the time. I can ask questions, they show me around the company, tell me more about the company, and like I said, show different places and stuff like that. And they're just something that's, I think.
So in Finnish we call them neuvonantaja.
Yeah.
These dedicated persons to help the. It's easier to get familiar with everyone else if you have that one person to start with.
Definitely have someone there. So it's like, okay, at least I have that one person who I know, and yeah, definitely. I do agree. Next one from Silvia Mayoral Alvarez. How would you define?
That's a good question. Our business culture, does it maybe mean like between our employees?
Yes, I'd understand it that way.
Yeah.
For your employees, yes.
Yeah. Well, Falk started as a family company. Falk Finland started as a family company, and there's a lot of people who has been working here for quite a long time. So basically, a lot of us know each other quite well. So often it feels like there is a lot of siblings you are dealing with, and obviously, like, I think every place has might have some issues, and you might feel differently than your colleagues. Yeah. But even though we have those situations, they never like explode. We can handle things in a mature way. Yeah. And I think the most important thing, for instance, why I have been here for so long and why I like it here, we have so much fun.
That's really important.
Yeah. So and also in contact center there is a lot of young people, but the age varies between, I think now the youngest is 19, and the oldest employee is nearly 60. And they are everyone. They're doing well together.
Yeah, so have a really good team spirit.
Yeah.
That's really important. That's really important. And it doesn't matter how old you are.
Yeah.
You still have a good team spirit. That's a wonderful thing.
Exactly.
Definitely, I do agree. We have the same in my job.
Yeah.
So. Then there's the next one. Which are the career opportunities for students and graduates in humanities, psychology, literature, and so on in Falk? Well, first of all, for example, if you study psychology, you can, for example, work in human resources. And Falk, for example, you have a human resource department. So
it is small, but we do have it.
Yes, exactly. Growing.
Yeah, exactly.
So definitely that's one opportunity for a person who studies psychology. Literature. I suppose it's more about what you want to work, because like you said, you have different departments here, or a lot of departments here in Falk. So there's various positions that you can work in.
Exactly.
So it's more of what you prefer, because like I said, like psychology student, you can really work in various different jobs.
That is true. Also, it's good to remember that since Falk is from Denmark and we operate in various countries, especially in the Nordics, it is always possible to be transferred to different country if you wish. Yeah. Of course, there is nothing. We are different companies, even though we are under the same group. So we are not forcing anyone to go to Sweden or whatever. But the possibility exists. Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Then from Jacqueline Alonso, are the hiring processes centralized or run in every country where you are based?
It is centralized. No, I mean run in every country.
In every country, yeah. So you don't have it basically that it's just from the head offices from Finland, but it's in every different country. So it can be in Denmark, for example.
Yes.
Then the next one is, do you have career plans for your employees and trainees?
Yes and no. That depends on the employee. Mm-hmm. So if you are a student, for instance, BBA student, and you are working in whatever the role is, and you know that you want to do something else or something more, we can build this plan.
Exactly, but it's just basically up to the trainee, for example, to speak up and say that, hey, I'm really interested in this and this, and I would like to do this. And then I bet, like you said, you have these jobs that are like basically you're applying jobs just in the Falk company inside. So I'm sure that trainees, for example, are able to apply those jobs as well. Okay, there's the next one. As Falk is a global enterprise, are there mobility opportunities for workers? Well, you actually talked about that there is a possibility to move to different countries. Yeah. And how many countries did you say that Falk was?
Actually, I'm not quite sure that many. Okay. I think something like more than 20.
Okay, so but there is a possibility.
Yeah, there is a possibility, because the thing is that, as I mentioned, we are a Falk group, and there is 4 divisions. Okay. And this division that we are working in Finland, it is called assistance. So we are providing different kind of assistance services to all kinds of people and companies. So that is the second biggest division in the world. But then the biggest one is called emergency, and that is something regarding ambulance services, medical care, and so on. And we have, for instance, ambulance services in Africa, and South America, in USA, in Vietnam, like wherever.
So there's definitely a possibility to go to another country and work there. Okay, then from Sarah Vidal, what do you do to promote work-life balance? Well, for example, in the company that I work in, we basically just our team manager just has these conversations with us every month to make sure that, hey, is everything okay? You know, you're studying and you're working. They actually all the time monitor your, you know, well-being and see that, are you tired at work and stuff like that. And like I said, we have monthly or even weekly conversations with our team, and they're not these kind of like really uncomfortably, you know, kind of stiff conversations. They're just really like a talkative situation when we're just like, hey, how are you? How are you doing? Is everything okay?
That is the exactly same thing that we do in here. Because for me, it's important to give employees the possibility to talk. And I won't be asking any personal questions, but I am telling them that if there is something that affects their work, they are okay to. It's okay to tell me if they want, and to make sure that it is confidential. So it's for me as a manager, it is important to create the environment where employees feel safe and trusted. So that is. I think that is the key for better culture, for better well-being and all that.
And for example, where I work at, basically our team manager always says that it's important that we, you know, go and work out, for example, and we are not just basically all the time working, and making sure that we actually exercise. So we have a gym at the office, and then we get these tickets, I don't know what they're called in English, but basically that we can go and work out. So the company wants to provide that kind of support also.
It's good to hear, because we also have a gym downstairs. We also have this this card ticket, however you call it. But so
we have like e-passi, it's called.
Yeah, we have different. We have ticket, mind and body.
Okay.
So it means that you can go to see a movie with it, or you can go to a gym or bowling or whatever your thing is.
That's really good.
And also we have very our, what is it called? This health services. It is very wide. There is a lot of things that are being covered.
So if basically, we have the same thing. So for example, if my knee gets hurt or whatever, and I have to go to the private doctor, I don't have to pay that much.
Exactly.
So it covers that.
Yeah.
Good. There's no new questions at the moment. Okay, there's another one.
Okay.
What about your social responsibility culture?
I kind of put it together, both social and environmental. So, for instance, I think I mentioned that we are a paperless company. That is part of the environmental responsibility. And social, how do you...
Social responsibility culture. How would I transfer that to you? I'm not sure if I'm really understanding the question.
Well, for instance, I'm not sure if this is exactly correct answer, but I'll try. So we do cooperation with Finnish TE-keskus.
Yeah, it's the, what is it in English? It's
like
social. Is it like social service?
Well, a bit like that.
Yeah.
For people who don't have a job at the moment.
Yeah, who are unemployed.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Thank you. So we do cooperation with that. So it means that we are trying to be involved with the to get more people
into the job market.
Yeah,
and get
exactly.
them employed.
Things like that.
Okay.
Yeah. We also encourage people to, to have a good balance with your work life and your personal life.
Yeah.
I don't know if it counts in this one, but we do take measures to help people.
Yeah, that was basically more maybe of the work-life balance.
Yeah, I think it was. So this was about social.
Yeah, but I think we answered it.
Okay, good.
Okay, there's no more questions at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this has been an interesting discussion.
Yes, and I'm really happy that there was a lot of really interesting questions.
Yes, thank you for those.
Yes, thank you so much.
I hope I answered enough and correctly.
Yes, I also hope that everyone found this helpful in some way. This was really interesting for both of us. I'm so thankful for Maiju. I really think your answers were really good, and thank you for all the participants. This has been really, really interesting.
Good.
So thank you so much.
I have I want to give a tip to everyone. If you are working in a company that makes you feel miserable, or you don't feel like it's for you, be brave and do decisions to
improve your own
well-being.
Yeah, don't stay there and just feel uncomfortable and miserable every day, because the time we spend working takes so long, or basically it takes up so much of our life that you shouldn't be staying at some place that you're not comfortable or don't like.
Yes, I totally agree. Take care of yourselves. So yeah. So no more questions?
There was, let me see. Is there an evaluation system for employees' performance at work?
Yes.
Are there bonuses for top performers?
We have evaluations. For instance, in our contact center, so the place where customers call and agents answer the calls and organize different kind of helps. We, for instance, we listen to the calls they have been handling, and we evaluate those with a structure. If there is a lot of flaws or something is incorrect, that is our way to help the agent to get better. Exactly. And if you are doing well, that is, well, you asked if there is a bonus system. We don't have exact bonus system, but that is a way to affect to your salary. So if you are doing well and you can show you are performing good and your service is excellent, whatever the measurement is, you can always ask for more salary, and then you have something to show how you pay yourself back to the company, so-called.
Because basically where I work at, we have this kind of like a team bonus. So basically you don't get an individual kind of bonus or anything like that, but it's about basically how you've answered your phone calls, or how your customers see you. Are they happy with your performance? Then there's, of course, really important is that how you get along with your teammates, which you even talked about. Then there's just various different things. So certain reports have to be sent at certain times and stuff like that. So that's where you get your bonus. But basically, we don't get like an individual.
We also measure service levels, how many calls has been answered in so and so short time, and if our contact center, if they are doing well, there is, as you mentioned, like it's not like a group bonus, but we have like this funny day out thing. So we kind of like end the winter and do something nice together.
Exactly.
So that is...
And it lifts the spirits up also in the team. So that's really nice. Great. Okay, at the moment there's no more questions. If there's any more, then just hit us up with some more questions.
When was the last time you updated your LinkedIn account?
Well, it has been a while, I have to admit.
Yeah.
So definitely, I'm always talking to people about how important it is to have their LinkedIn accounts like basically ready and good, and then I don't have my own.
Yeah.
But yeah, I should actually check it out. And it's also really important. I see in Finland, I see a lot of people, basically we worked in one project together, a school project, where we have a customer who's basically, we just made sure that her LinkedIn account is good and just checked everything. And basically what I see a lot is people take, like I said, like not that good quality pictures. You even said about when people apply that they should have, you know, good pictures where you can see the person's or job applicant's face. Selfies or anything like that, especially in LinkedIn, you should try to look positive and happy. Okay, Mayoral Alvarez, do you promote lifelong learning for your employees?
Yes, yes we do. I think it's super important. For instance, there is people who want to study foreign languages. Falk usually covers the expenses for that. Or you might be interested in some sort of Excel
course, for example.
Yeah, or whatever it is that you find that you might need in your work. And that is something that we really promote. Yes, thank you.
Yes.
We promote it. Yes.
Okay, great. Actually, this was our last question. So, like we said, thank you so much for all the questions. It has been really interesting answering them, and they have been really, really good. So, thank you so much, everyone, and we wish you a nice day.
Thank you.
Thank you.